What the hell do you want? The idea that we aren't alone in this universe has been explored constantly in different types of media. I personally believe that there is no way in hell that we are alone in this galaxy, so it is always interesting to see someone else's twist on that concept. To narrow down this list, I am only allowing things that generally wouldn't be found on our Earth, and things that would generally come out of, say, a grim fairy tale are exempt as well, such as werewolves and vampires. Also, I'm not allowing aliens that originate from movies, so sorry, but there will be no alien or predator on this list. However, something that is allowed on this list will be man-made aliens. Things introduced to an environment that otherwise wouldn't be present, along with anything that fits the textbook definition of an alien, being a creature that originates from somewhere else and is partaking in an invasion of a certain area without consent. I'm going to be placing the entries in this list based off of how mysterious, creative, and effective of a race they are. And with that, this is the top 10 aliens in gaming.
If it moves, kill it. If it's not moving, kill it again.
You know the story about Moses warning the Pharaoh about the plague of locusts? Well, I wonder if this was what he was talking about. While I've always been a moderate fan of Gears of War, I've always been interested in the Locusts. Whether it was their name that caught me, or the fact that they pretty much drill through the goddamn earth to get to you, the Locusts somehow caught my attention enough to be put on this list. The Locusts are rather vicious creatures that are built with pure muscle and strength, and can also use guns. Wow, that is just a scary combination. They might not really be anything special to look at, but hey, they're the reason the Lancer was created. I'd say they deserve a spot just for that. You will see some truly frightening and awe-inspiring alien creatures on this list. And then there's this thing. I don't know what to call slime. I mean, it's a big blob of blue shit, but it technically is a foreign invader, so it qualifies for this list. This little blue pile of happiness is not only weak and frail, but it is an icon of gaming. Anyone who has ever played a Dragon Quest game has fought one of these. Is there anything inherently cool or special about them? No? But I love what they stand for. Except they can't really stand. These little things encompass everything interesting about aliens in games. Little is known about them, they're everywhere, and they have a rather odd appearance, making them stand out to me as a prime example of a video game alien. Although they're still pretty lame. When you think about it, aliens might not look like what we think them to look like. You know, like the weird big-headed, proby-looking things that popular media has made them out to be. Well, alien hominid really doesn't help with that image. While it could probably be attested that the design of the aliens from Alien Hominid were born from laziness, I'll give Behemoth the benefit of the doubt because these little freaks are awesome. While it's true that they can die in one hit, it's also true that they're freaking yellow extraterrestrials that can bite people's heads off. They can also carry an assload of grenades even though they're completely goddamn naked. They also wear hats! Star Fox Assault has always been a game that has met mixed reviews. It's got amazing graphics and gameplay. However, some hated the sections that remove you from your R-Wing. Whatever your qualm with this game may be, you have to admit, the Aperoids are pretty badass. Aperoids in Star Fox are a rather special case for this list. They are more machine than anything, but they still act as sentient organic life forms. They honestly mostly resemble a parasite as they corrupt and take over the body of their host, and at one point they even took control of General Pepper and his flagship in the Battle of Corneria. The amazing thing is that it is nearly impossible for them to be wiped out, as they can only die off permanently by the death of the Queen, who looks like a blender. You know what people freaking love? Half-Life. You know what I think is mildly okay? Half-Life. While I may not think the games are that extraordinary, I will say this. The headcrabs are awesome. To me, headcrabs are a heartening callback to the roots of modern alien horror. Slightly resembling that of a facehugger from Alien, headcrabs are these little creatures that can easily overrun a person if in a pack. Once they do, they will quickly turn what was once a human into a horrible mind-controlled creature. The thing that truly sets the tone of the headcrabs is seeing what they do to other humans in the world around you, and thinking that it could very well happen to you too. Something that has always kind of amazed me is how I managed to slip in Pokemon to about every countdown that I do. But I mean, I can't do that here, right? I mean, there's no aliens in Pokemon. Oh, wait. Honestly, it kind of amazes me that there aren't more aliens in Pokemon. But it wouldn't matter anyways, because my favorite Pokemon just happens to be an alien. I mean, sure, he's an alien virus, but let's just pay attention to the alien part. We don't need that other word in there. I won't go into detail about why I love Deoxys because I've done that so many other times. However, I will note that he has some of the coolest alien abilities possible, including psychokinesis, shapeshifting, and many other things. Deoxys may not seem it because he is from a Pokemon game, but he is one hell of a cool alien. Mario enemies are generally pretty mundane. I mean, you have turtles, Goombas, flying turtles. Oh, and what the fuck is that thing? The shrooms are genuinely some of the weirdest things to come out of the Mario games, but that's what makes them so intriguing. Ironically enough, in a game filled with fungi that you're trying to protect, these little mushroom people prove to be your greatest enemy. Oh, and did I mention that they're tough as hell? I've seriously never beaten the final Shroob boss in Mario & Luigi Partners in Time. This is a battle that has been ingrained into my mind for years, and I just can't beat it. That's partially what makes this race of aliens stand out to me. They were the ones that I could never beat. Granted, I haven't tried in many years, but that final battle will always be the one thing that I will remember from the Mario & Luigi series. When discussing Mass Effect, I don't think one person has ever said, hey, you know what is a cool race? The humans. This is just because why would you play as a human when you have a chance to play as so many other interesting races? In a game centered around galactic exploration, I have a lot of races to choose from, but none stand out to me like the Solarians do. This spot on the list really could have gone to anyone in the Mass Effect series, such as the Krogans, the Geth, or even the Reapers. But for me, it has to be the Solarians, partially because I'm rather nerdy and can appreciate their intelligence, as they kinda have established themselves as a science-centered faction of the games. But really, their race takes the cake for one reason. Freaking Mordin Solus. He's one of the leading scientists in the trace of the Krogan genophage, and his intelligence and pride in his work really set him above the other characters for me. And his dying scene is probably my favorite moment in the entire series. The guy goes out singing. And for that alone is the reason why I love this race.
I am the very model of a scientist, Solarian.
The one thing I've always been wary of is a parasite. Something that would latch onto you and you might not even know it, because it could be controlling you. The only thing freakier would be if the parasite came from somewhere light years away. The Metroids from, well, Metroid, are a leech-like creature that suck the life force out of anything they wish. While they kinda look like one of those globes that shock you whenever you touch them, they are not to be taken lightly. As a fierce race created by the Chozos, Metroids have enough power to warrant being used as bioweapons and the forced extermination of their entire race. The funny thing to think about in Metroid is that Samus Aran is tasked with exterminating the Metroids by invading their home planet. So isn't she technically the alien in this case? Something that has plagued modern shooter games is their relative lack of innovation. They never seem to be able to break away from the standard theme of, you're a good human, go shoot the bad humans. However, one shooter that has always stood out to me above others is the iconic franchise of Halo. Halo has always been the holy grail of shooters for me. It never produces a dull thematic or concept, and it always brings new exciting adventures. And those adventures just so happen to be set in space. And wherever there's space, there's bound to be an alien or two. While it is hard for me to choose a single alien for this list, I would have to say that the Covenant take the cake over the Flood and the Prometheans for one single reason. These little bastards. The Covenant are a badass race of aliens, primarily because of all the crazy weaponry and vehicles they come packing. However, the Grunts are something special. They're such nutty little freaks. They serve no purpose in battle, and frankly, if one kills you, then why the hell are you even playing the game? But they're a hysterical cannon fodder alternative to the badass likes of the Elites and Brutes. Also, Grunt Dance Party. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you need me, I'll be in the Kubrick.